right, it's been a minute. I just want to do a mid-year halibut report. As you can see on here, I went out of Port Angeles, Squim area a couple weeks ago. Caught a couple. We only had two people on the boat, so we got our limit. So nothing huge as you can see, but still. When I went to the boat checker guy, I said, "How many came in?" He goes, "Well, you just doubled it." So there was only 4 caught that day. So overall, we did pretty good. But I wanted to share that what we did differently than maybe what some other people did. The tides were pretty extreme, not too crazy, but they were a pretty good shift. So I'm going to walk you through what I did to kind of combat that. So here's a map of what you'll probably see on your fish finder. When you go scouting for halibut spots. This is from, let me click on here. I thought it was from Salmon University, but it's from this site right here. Squid Pro tackles halibut fishing. And that gentleman's always posting some halibut pictures on Facebook. But here's kind of, typical what people look for. They look for those little plateaus, the ledges. What I focus on, and I'll bring it up here on this slide here, is what we normally fish is this. What you see here is there's a plateau, there's a drop off, and there might be another big mountain. If you go to your fish finder and you can look at the scale, you kind of want this to be pretty wide. And what I did on extreme tides is I focused right here, and I don't know why I got a box. Go back to Lime. This spot right here. Normally, when the tides aren't too crazy, I'll catch them up here on the ledge, and then when your bait's dropping down off the ledge, we'll get hookups. Sometimes on the other side of here, um, coming up, you'll also fishing ledges. I think is a big key. But I just focus right here. As soon as we got up to the plateau, normally you fish the plateau, but because of the tides, I reset the drift and stayed right here and just hit this area. Our second pass, we had to take down our third pass. I caught the first fish. Next pass after that, my fishing buddy caught a 4-foot dogfish. Next pass after that, we had an error takedown we missed. Next pass after that, we caught the second one. So by noon, we were done. But I think the key was hammering out here. And just in my theory, I'm thinking because the tides were pushing so much, they kind of just hunker down here. I don't know if that's true or not, but I wanted to share what we did and what got us success that day. I think I got Salmon University up here. These are areas we did launch out of John Wayne's Marine, came around and fished this area right up here between 5, 4, and 3, hitting the different spots. But what the key is, I think, is looking for. Oh, I'm going all over the place. Is this right here? I think, anyways. And the other part was using squid. As soon as I put a squid on, that's when I noticed things. So we used. Let me see if I can bring up. Let's just go setup. Let's see what comes up. We use spreader bars. I want to see if somebody has something. I don't think in my pictures it shows my setup. No, it doesn't. Let's go back to setup. See if anybody has one up here real quick. Setup. Spreader bar. It was kind of like that. But we just had a straight hoochie. And then we put probably I think it was about an 8-inch, and put herring on there, the biggest herring you can find, and then tuna belly, salmon belly. But I put squid, so I put a herring and squid combo, and I think that was the key two hook setup. Something similar, but we don't have that tuna cord. But it is nice to have the tuna cord on there. Look at that picture. Something similar. Um, but I think the key was the squid. I think they just wanted the squid that day. So I think you may see some of that. Um, Again, Salmon University, I think they're pretty spot on as far as the halibut holes there. I didn't try Dallas Bank, but there was plenty of boats. Did hit area 4 and 5 back and forth. Again, there's so many good spots over there that that you can fish, and I think the key was what I showed was really just targeting in between two ledges and just kind of hammering that area. And I think you got to have a good. So this drift was probably about 20 minutes of a drift. So that's how, sometimes we'll put our kicker motor in to try to slow it down. But normally, if it's not a huge current, and this was all outgoing, we start here and then we fish all the way to the end here. But because of the heavy current, I think that was something that I was like, I don't know. Let's just focus here. We got our bites here. Let's just stay here and just hammer that out. So, anyways, I hope that helps. Mid May, so next weekend, Memorial Day weekend, there's going to be a lot of people out there fishing. So hopefully you get a chance to get out there and get some success. And hopefully, what I went through here, hopefully that helps people out that, what I look for anyways. I look for a plateau and then I look for some ledges and then I want a nice long area where I can fish in between. Um, and this last trip out of Port Angeles area, we're about a 75% success rate. There's only been a couple times we've kind of gotten skunked. Um, and there's probably, 60% of the time we've probably limited out at the first tide change. And that's another thing. So we started 3 hours, I want to say, before tide change. And again, this was outgoing. And I caught that one, I said, on the second drift or third drift, and then there one on the sixth drift. So by noon we were done, and it was about 30 minutes after the tide changed. The tide had just started pushing the other way, but the wind was going the other way, so it kind of counteracts each other, which is nice because then you can kind of stay on the spot. So, all right, well, I hope that helps everybody, and I'll see you next time. Bye.